just give you a little bit of background. I run Solazone. We've got 4 offices. We've got one in Sunshine Coast here, we have one in Melbourne, we have one in Davao in Philippines. We're soon to be opening another one in Makati in Philippines, and we have one in a place called Kerala in the southern state of India. That's a very new one. It doesn't do very much yet, but we're just looking at helping people get into solar and use the technology. So the business has been running since 1983. I opened my first shop in Melbourne, and then in 1988 I moved up here, and I've been working here since, but I still have the place in Melbourne, so I go down there regularly. And those 2 businesses are probably the mainstay of Solazone. Philippines has been going 3 years, and we're just sort of starting to tread water now. Before that, it's sort of been feeding. But yeah, we recognise there. I do a lot of training over there. We've got local Filipinos that work for us. It's all a Philippine company. So we're starting to get some government work over there. So regarding the solar ventilators, what I see is an absurd situation where we have a lot of poorly designed houses around the place, where people move in and then to try and make it comfortable they whack on this monster grade air conditioner, and they don't think about the thermodynamics of the house. So these things have proven themselves in many situations, and I'll try and elaborate on the way. I've got a PowerPoint presentation here which is just to structure the talk, but if you've got any questions at all along the way and you want me to elaborate, just put your hand up. Any house, you've got a roof space, the sun's shining on the roof, and basically the heat's radiating down from the roof. So you got your house like this, ceiling, walls in here, the sun's shining down like this. This roof space here gets hotter and hotter and hotter, and then the heat radiates down like this. So most people put a big air conditioning on the side of the house like that, right, blowing cold air in. But even though they're trying to cool down the house, you've still got all the heat radiating down from the hot in the roof. So what we can do is we can ventilate from here, take the heat out, and by not having this heat radiating down, you can either turn off or reduce your air conditioning load. Now, the other place that you'll find is if you've got the afternoon sun running in through the wall, you can find that you'll get heat there too. All right, so we've got solutions for all of this. If you've got an upstairs and a downstairs, so this is your other floor down here, you'll find that with your stairwell, all the heat, well, you still got radiating down, but anything that is in this room here, the heat will tend to go upstairs. So if you go, has anyone got a double-storey house? No? No? All right. But you do? Yeah. Yeah. So you know from living in a double-storey house, it's always, once you come up the top of the stairs, you feel this wall of heat. You come in, right? And most people with a double-storey house sleep in the upstairs, and that's where you find it's most uncomfortable, and that's where you want to get rid of the heat so that you can sleep properly. Alright. So upstairs passages and upstairs ventilate at the top. You take the air out of here. Now, depending upon what sort of roof, most roofs these days, or modern ones, they'll have sarking. If it's a tile roof here, they'll have something sealing the roof. If it's a real old roof and you've got tiles there, you'll probably find that the air will find its way in. But if it's sealed, or you've got a tin roof and it's got the insulation underneath of the tin, you'll need to put a vent here so that this can suck the heat out. So, yeah, and here it says reduced heat load on the ceiling because you've got this coming through. Now, Don and I did a job the other day, and I've done a few in Victoria too, I've noticed exactly the same. once you install this thing and it's running like mad and it's drawing the heat out, you'll still find on the first day that all the ceiling's still hot, all the plaster's still hot, the wood's still hot. So you'll feel a difference straight away, but it's the next day when you'll notice the difference, particularly because right from the morning it'll start drawing the heat out. So the roof space doesn't get the opportunity to get hot, to have to cool it down, it just stays cool. We've got an adjustable solar panel. So once you get a certain amount of voltage on your solar panel, the fan will start going. The more sunlight you get, the faster the fan goes. Right? So the hotter the day, the more sunlight and the faster the fan. So you extract more heat out. This one here, as I said, this is the little one. It's 900 cubic metres per hour. Yeah, and they go up to 1400, 2100 and 3000. So this one here is like around about 6 whirlybirds, right? And the other ones go up to like about 20 whirlybirds. Right, one up and move it out. But here, just remove one tile. Right? I normally go as high up the roof as I possibly can for it, but don't touch the top row because you'll break all the pointing. And usually the second row, if you try and move that, you'll break the pointing too. So I normally select the third row. For most of these, this being the smallest one, you only need one tile. That's the size of one tile, right? But the next sizes up, they're bigger. But again, if you take one tile, the hole will be, it'll cover over slightly, but it'll also be longer. So you've got enough area for enough air volume to come through. So I've seen these where people have taken 2 or more tiles out or cut the tiles with the angle grinder, but you really don't need to do that. Yeah, fairly easily done. With the tile roof, I didn't bring the piece, but there's a little metal strip that attaches to a batten or a rafter. It just comes up and then you fold it over this to hold it in place. And then under the tile, you need to silicone and pack it out, and at the bottom the same, and at the sides just silicone the sides and just knock it with a plastic hammer or the rubber mallet just to shape it. So it's just the 2 little clips that hold it in place, right? But when the silicone sets and dries, then it's glued down top and bottom both sides, so it's not going to move. First thing in the morning, when the roof's cold, it won't work. But as the roof warms up, it'll work. Right? In the middle of winter time, when you want to retain the heat in the house to keep the whole house warm, it won't go if you've turned the thermostat, to say 30 or more. So it's only when the roof temperature warms up it'll work. And it just gives you an extra degree of control. You can actually adjust the thing if you want, to whatever temperature you want. I normally set them right up. You push it up and you can close it off. So in the winter time when you don't want the heat to leave the room, you can do that. So you wonder, how do I manage to get up and do that? Well, you put this on the end of a broom handle, right? Just push it up and twist it out. And this is the Live Light one that I can remember. We put the solar whiz around about here, didn't we? On this one, around about there. For some reason I weren't worried about the living area, it was the bedrooms, and I think the daughter was home and she had a bedroom here and a computer room here or something like that. Yeah. So what we ended up doing is we put that's the eaves, we put an eave vent here and we put one here. Yeah. So what happens is the cool air is dragged across this bedroom and goes out like that, and it goes across this room, the computer room, and goes out. So what you've got to think about is what part do you want cooled? Where do you want to drag the air from? In the house that we did the other day in, what was it, Kuana? Yeah, Kuana. Yeah, we climbed into the roof and we looked at where's the highest place that you want to get rid of the air from, because that's where the hottest bit's going to go. And where's the living area? Where are they complaining about the heat being? It's here. So we actually put a ceiling vent in that room, not right next to the window, because you don't want the air to come in the window and then go straight up. You want the cool air to come in the window or the door, go across the room, and then be expelled up into the ceiling and then be taken away. So you just got to think about how the air's going to flow, and what result you want.